Next time you go outside, be careful, for the Mothman might be watching you. Now, before I talk about the Mothman, my name is Felix, and if you like monsters, scary stories, and lore, this is the channel for you. Please hit the like button by flicking it. Please subscribe. Now let's get into today's monster. The year is 1966 in a small town called Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It's a small town of about 5,000 people. Everybody minds their own business, not a lot of crime. It really seems like a great place to live. In November of that same year, 5 gravediggers said that they saw a man creature with wings, with red glowing eyes, gliding over their head. Later that same month, there was a different man in his car with his wife Linda, his friend Steve, Mary, and his cousin Lonnie. They were hanging out at this abandoned factory called the TNT. Now I know, that sounds a little dangerous, but when you're young and dumb, who cares? It's totally abandoned, and it's a very popular spot for young people to hang out. So while they're there, Roger sees in the distance red lights, which is weird because it's supposed to be a totally abandoned factory. Then the rest of the group also sees those red lights. Then they realize that those red lights are moving a little, which is a bit weird. Then those red lights start moving closer and closer to them. Then they see that they are not red lights, they are red glowing eyes. And as it gets closer and closer, they see that whatever that thing is about 7 feet tall, and they run to their car and book it. And as they think they're getting away, Roger looks at his rear view and sees that the thing is still chasing them. So Roger hits the pedal and goes about 100 miles per hour, and it is still chasing them even though it's only flying. The group went straight to the courthouse, and as they got out to tell the police, the creature was nowhere to be seen. Now the whole town knows, and they're split. Some of them believe him, some of them don't. But someone else that night, before word got out, had an encounter with the creature. Her name was Marcella, and she was hanging out at her friend's house that's located right next to the TNT factory. While she's getting ready to leave, she walks to her car with her baby in her arms. While she's trying to open her car door, she feels something next to her, so she turns around and sees a giant winged creature with red glowing eyes. She says she was so scared that she dropped her baby to the ground and got on top of it to try and protect it. She also said that she was paralyzed with fear. After a while, she looks around and sees that the creature is gone. She gets up and runs to her friend's house. They immediately call the police, and while they're waiting, they hear a loud thump on their front porch. They look at each other and agree to look through the front window. When they do, they see a dark figure with red glowing eyes standing right in front of her house. They barricade themselves and wait for the police, but by the time the police get there, that thing is gone. The next day, the whole town is talking about it, and that's when it's given the name the Mothman. For the next few months, the Mothman is terrorizing the town, and 100 people come forward saying that they saw the Mothman. Now, originally, a lot of people saw the Mothman, but they did not say anything, fearing that they might be called liars or even worse, crazy. The main way to get to Point Pleasant was through a steel bridge. A lot of people took that bridge to go in and out of work. On December 25th, 1967, that bridge collapsed, sadly killing 46 people. Oddly enough, that same evening, there was numerous phone calls to the police saying that there was a large figure with, you guessed it, red glowing eyes hanging out at the bridge. Now again, that's when people seemed to split on what the Mothman was doing. Was the Mothman responsible for the collapse? Or maybe was the Mothman trying to warn the small town of the tragic event, like a guardian angel? An ugly guardian angel, but all in all, an angel. Ever since then, no one has seen the Mothman at Point Pleasant, but others have seen it around the world right before disasters, like tsunamis, wars, and even September 11th. That was today's monster. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments. Is it responsible for disasters, or is it trying to warn us? If you guys like this type of content, please follow. And if you follow me on any of my platforms, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And remember, sometimes what the world needs is not a hero. What it really needs is a monster.